Alrighty, so as you can see, I have started taking the items out of our kit, so we're all set up and ready to go. The instructions are very easy to follow, so if you find yourself lost, you can kind of just look at them. So I've taken everything out of the bag and we're ready to start. So these right here, we're going to take all of these, and you can see I've already started it. We're just going to put them right through the hole, and we're going to put them down about 2 inches. So in your kit, you can see a ruler if you want to, go crazy and measure it to see if it's about 2 inches. Or you can just make it simple, just go like this and see approximately 2 inches. So we're gonna do that with all of them. Some of them might be a little bit tight to fit through the hole. And so if that's the case, just kind of spin it around a little bit like this, and then you'll be good to keep going. Okay, so now that we have all of our spokes through all of the holes for the bottom of the basket, we are ready to move into weaving the actual basket. So you can see I have taken the reeds and I've had them soaking in this bucket for about 15 minutes. They don't have to be in there that long. 30 seconds is what it says to start out with, but the longer you have them in, you can see how flexible they are, so it actually makes it pretty easy. So we're just gonna take out one to get started. We can leave the rest in the basket to keep soaking. So we're gonna put those back in there. And then we're gonna set that aside. Now to start, it's fairly simple. It's basically just a series of going in and out and in and out. So we can start with having the end of our reed, and we're gonna tuck it right under the first spool here, just so we can take it and we can hold on to it. So you can see like this. And then this one is already pointing out. And so we're just gonna go like this. And then we're just gonna take the reed and we're gonna hold it down right here. And then I like to go over and in between these 2 spokes, and then just push it all the way down. And now it'll actually hold on this side by itself, and so you're ready to just keep moving down. So we have, see how it's out and then it goes in and back out again? We're just gonna keep doing that for the whole basket. So see how I go behind, and then I come back to the front as I push down, and then we just keep going. So behind, above, and then push down, and then turn. So behind, above, push down, and turn. Fairly simple. So you can kind of see from here, you can see where it goes in and out. So if you think that you missed a spool or something like that, like a spoke, you can just kind of look at it and see the in out design. And so we're just gonna continue on with going behind and then back to the front and pushing down. So we have it here. We go behind, up, and then pushing it through. So you're going to do this with all of the reeds that are in your basket. So it's going to take you a while, but after the first time, you can kind of see how easy it is just to keep going. So we've made it around once, and so now we're just gonna keep doing the same thing. So we're gonna go behind, above, and in the front, and then you can kind of see how it's making like an overlap in the opposite direction. That's how you know that you didn't miss any spokes. So we're gonna keep doing that. And yeah, it's fairly simple. Alrighty, so as you can see, we have a few of our reeds already weaved into the basket. So we're going to add another one. And so just again, to show you how to start and finish, we're gonna look and see where our last reed ended off. So you can see that this one is kind of tucked behind back here. So to start this one, we're just going to take it and kind of poke the reed in between the 2 layers of weaving. And sometimes you can see how it like splits. If that's the case, then just switch around and then you can take the other side and try it again. So we're gonna kind of just stick it in there, see? And then you can see how the last reed that we placed was tucked behind. So this one is going to start over. And again, to make sure that you're doing this correctly, you can kind of look and see that the last reed was behind it. So we're gonna continue on with our over, under, and then through, and then pushing it down. And just do this for the whole reed. So behind and then push it down. You go over, around, push it down. So the round and the square are pretty much the same. So like this weaving technique will be used on the square basket as well. The only difference will be like the corners. So when you're on the corners and you're weaving them, you're just going to actually have to move the whole basket like 45 degrees and then just keep going. Something like that where the corners will be a little bit challenging. Another thing is with the square basket, it is easy for, if you have the reeds and you like pull them too tight as you're weaving the basket itself, you will find that what's supposed to be a square basket will actually look more like a diamond shape. So just make sure that you're not, weaving it through too tight. There's kind of like a happy medium. When it's right up against your spokes, that's when you know that you're on track. And then the same thing with the bottom. When we get to the bottom here, you'll see another difference. With the squares, the corners kind of will be a little bit different. It'll be the same thing. You'll actually have to weave them under like 2 or so spokes in order to get them to stay. But really at the end of the day, it's just however you can get your spokes to be flat without popping back out. So you can see as I'm going along, I'm still pushing them flat every time I go. I mean, I just kind of take my 2 fingers and kind of just push them in between. I make it a habit. I have, my right thumb right here. This is if you're left-handed. So for you guys, it would be backwards. You'd probably be doing things a little bit different, but I kind of just hold it down with my thumb and then I grab it with my finger, pull behind and then back through. And then right here, this is when I take my 2 fingers and I just go right like that. So you can see that they're all up against each other and there's no space. Like there's a little bit of space so you can see through, but they're not like huge gaps. That will also ensure that your basket is all even around. You can see how all of this is very symmetrical. So I go around and then I push down again. So we're almost at the end of our last reed here. And so I'm going to show you how to finish it and tuck it off without it being easily seen. So we're just gonna do a few more here. Like so. So we're just kind of still doing the same, like wrapping it. And then make sure towards the end it's gonna wanna like stick up. So you really have to push it down into the, so it's touching the reed below or it's going to pop back up. So right now you can see I don't have a lot of space left here. It's just maybe an inch or so. So we're going to, hold this reed right here. So we're gonna take that with our other hand and we're just gonna bend this one behind it like so. And this one just happens to end where it looks fine leaving it tucked in. But if you find yourself with one that like you have about half of, a spoke left where you can't go under, you can just do like when we started it, where you can just tuck it under. So we can always just tuck it in like so. Now this one came out through the front, which is, it's okay if you want to leave it like that, but since these ones, the wood happens to be a different color too, you can just kind of tuck it in behind. And there you go. So that's the actual part of the basket when you end the reed. So that's good to know.